My earliest gaming memory is sitting watching my brother play his NES. I was maybe about 5 or 6 at the time, so I didn't get to actually play myself, just sit and watch while he completed Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. And then one day, I can't even remember how or why, he let me have a go whilst he sat beside me, dutifully pointing me in the right direction, which for Super Mario Bros. Was pretty much always right. And that was it really. After the Super Nintendo launched, I had to have a console of my own. I spent entire summers and Christmas days playing through Yoshi's Island, Mario Kart and the Donkey Kong series. And being so young, I didn't get that many games, but the games that I did get, I played to absolute death. Naturally, that led to getting the N64, which is, to this day, one of my favourite consoles of all time. Ocarina of Time is one of the first games I can remember being genuinely blown away by, getting to Hyrule Field and feeling like you could go anywhere and do anything. Obviously by today's standards it's hardly that impressive, but back then, riding around on Epona honestly felt like the pinnacle of game design. It was absolute freedom. It was around that time that I started to branch out into other consoles and PC. I'd inherited my brother's PlayStation after he moved out to go to university, and a huge stack of games along with it, so I started working through those without really knowing what to expect. A few immediately stood out: Resident Evil and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, though I was really far too young to be playing them, and Tomb Raider. With the exception of Princess Peach and Dixie Kong, pink swaddled blondes that a tomboy like me had zero interest in, this was the first playable woman I'd encountered in a game, and she was the solo lead, a capable and kick-ass protagonist. It didn't matter to me that she'd been designed and marketed to teenage boys. All that mattered was that she was there on screen, blazing a trail for other female leads to follow. It was also on the original PlayStation that I discovered what is still one of my favourite games of all time, Final Fantasy VII. Up until my teen years, gaming was always something that I'd kind of experienced alone. It wasn't until I got a bit older that I started to encounter people who shared my love of gaming with me. My best friend and I met and bonded over a love of survival horror games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill and Project Zero. In fact, the very first time we met, he invited me around to play Project Zero the next day, not thinking I'd actually turn up. I did, of course, and 15 years later he's still stuck with me. And though we live in different cities now, we still meet up and play the same games that we did back then. Even though we could play through the entire Resi series with our eyes closed now, for us it isn't really about the games. It's about spending time together doing something we both love. When the time came for me to go to university in a different country, my consoles and my PC were all packed up and ready to move with me. Games like World of Warcraft helped ease the transition to a whole new life, whilst Resident Evil 4 helped me bond with new flatmates who used to come round to my room every night to watch me thrash the undead as Leon S. Kennedy. Obviously, I play games as much as I always have, though it's a bit different. I think about games differently, and not just because it's my job. Gaming has grown up as much as I have, and more people from more diverse backgrounds now consider themselves gamers, and I think it's important that the industry reflects this. I know from personal experience that games have the power to bring people together, to help and to heal, and I want as many people as possible to have the chance to experience that for themselves.